Welcome to the MediSoul podcast. I'm your host, Holly Janes, founder of MediSoul Wellness, and this is the podcast where I talk about spirituality, meditation, the paranormal, and everything in between. And I'm building a school called MediSoul Wellness that teaches you all about these topics. If you want to learn more, go to MediSoulWellness.com. So in this topic today, we're going to be talking about what is a chakra. What is it? How does it work? What are they? And we'll go over some of your most common questions when it comes to chakras. So let's begin on, what is a chakra? Well, the only way that we can explain what a chakra is we have to talk about energy. So what is energy? Everything is energy. Your body, your thoughts, your emotions, all of that is energy vibrating at different frequencies. And just like your physical body has systems that keep it alive, your circulatory system, your nervous system, your lymphatic system, that's what keeps you alive. Well, your energetic body also has a system. That system is made up of three things working together: prana, nadis, and chakras. So what's prana? Prana is the life force energy that flows through you. Every living thing has prana. It's what animates you. It's the difference between living and not living. In Chinese medicine, they call it qi or ki. So qi like tai chi. In Japan, they call it ki, as in ki. Think of Reiki. Different words, but they mean the same thing. That vital energy that keeps you alive and functioning. Prana is what they call it in India. When your prana is flowing freely, you feel vital, you feel clear, you feel alive, you feel happy, healthy, and well. When it's blocked, you're going to notice, because that's when you start having issues in your life. Any physical symptoms, emotional issues, mental, spiritual things that you struggle with, that's because you've got a block in your life force energy. So let's talk about the nadis. Now, the nadis are your energy channels. So prana, which is your life force energy, doesn't just float around in your body randomly. It flows through these specific channels in your body that are called nadis. Think of them as like the veins inside your body. The veins in your body bring blood from point A to point B. The nadis do the same thing, only with your energy. Ancient yogic texts described over 72,000 nadis running throughout your entire body. And they are carrying energy the way that your veins and your arteries carry blood. Now, there are three main nadis that matter the most. Sushumna, the central channel. This runs straight up through the center of your body along your spine. This is the main energetic highway. That is where your chakras are located. Then you have Ida, which runs along the left side of Sushumna. It's connected to the feminine energy, the moon, your cooling and calming energy, your right brain, and your intuition. Then you have Pingala, which runs along the right side, connected to masculine energy, the sun, activating your energy, your left brain, your logic, and your actions. The Ida and Pingala don't run straight. They spiral and crisscross up throughout the body, weaving back and forth around that central Sushumna channel as they move upward. Think of it as like the DNA strand. They cross at specific points along the spine, and those crossing points where the Ida and the Pingala where they all meet is where you end up with a chakra. Now, meridian lines, they come from your traditional Chinese medicine, and they work on the same principle as nadis. They are pathways through which energy moves through your body. where the yogic system said that there's 72,000 nadis, your traditional Chinese medicine maps out 12 primary meridian lines, each one connected to a specific organ system in your body. The liver meridian, the heart meridian, the kidney meridian, and so on. When energy flows freely through these lines, the organs and systems that they are connected to, they function well. They operate. That's when you're healthy. But when the flow of that energy is disrupted, that's going to show up as physical illness or emotional imbalance in that specific area. This is the foundation of acupuncture. Needles are placed at specific points along these meridian lines to clear energetic blockages to restore that energetic flow. The nadis and the meridians are different maps, but of the same thing. Energy moves through your body in these channels. Keep those channels clear and open, and you will stay healthy, happy, and well. But if they get congested or blocked, that's when you start having struggles in your life. Okay, so then, well, what is a chakra then? A chakra is an energy center that forms at major energetic channels, specifically 3 main nadis that intersect. The word chakra comes from Sanskrit, and it means spinning wheel. They're called wheels because when they're functioning properly, they spin. They're active, they're moving, they're receiving and sending energy all the time. Now you have 7 main chakras that are running from the base of your spine, right in the center of your hips, all the way up to the top of your head. Each one sits at a major crossing point of those nadis. Each one is like a crossroads, receiving energy coming up from below, processing it, and sending it up to the next chakra. So each chakra controls a specific area of your life, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and they're not separate from each other. They are a system that works together. Energy moves upward through all 7 chakras, and the health of each one affects the one above it and the one below it. So how healthy energy flow works. When your energy system is healthy, prana, your energy, your life force energy, flows freely up through that sushumna channel, moving through each chakra in turn. Each chakra spins at its natural frequency. So it spins at a specific kind of speed in a certain direction, like maybe it's going clockwise or maybe it's spinning counterclockwise. The Ida and Pingala are balanced. Your masculine and feminine energy, your actions and your rest, your logic and your intuition. So as each chakra spins at its natural balanced frequency, the Ida and the Pingala are balanced at that point. That means that your masculine and feminine energy, your actions and rest, your logic and your intuition are all in harmony. You're going to feel grounded. You're going to feel safe. You're going to be creative and passionate. You're going to have confidence. You're going to feel empowered. You're going to have an open heart, a trusting heart. You're going to feel like you can express yourself freely. You're going to have a very clear connection to your intuition, and you're going to be connected to something greater than yourself. That's what full energetic health is like. It doesn't mean that your whole life is perfect. It just means that you have the internal resources to handle whatever life brings at you. Basically, that's a whole lot of way of saying you got your crap together. But a lot of us don't have our crap together. We really don't. So what does that mean? Well, that's when you get blocks. So what's block? A block happens when the energy stops flowing freely through your chakras and through the meridians. It can be underactive. The wheel is not spinning as well as it should be, or it's not spinning at all. It's like it's congested or it's stuck. Or your chakra could be overactive, which means that the wheel, the energy ball, is spinning too fast. There's too much energy that's stuck in it, and it's overwhelming that chakra center. So, well, okay, blocks, those things can come from unprocessed emotions and trauma, chronic stress, negative thought patterns that you believe, physical injury, or some kind of an illness, suppressing your own inner truth, or disconnection from your body or your spiritual self. When a chakra is blocked, the energy can't move through it properly. Everything that chakra controls starts to break down. That's when you start having problems. And because it's a system, because all 7 chakras are connected, a block in one chakra is going to affect the other chakras around it. A blocked root chakra makes it harder for energy to reach the heart chakra. A blocked throat chakra keeps energy from rising to your third eye. So the good news here is that blockages, these energetic blockages, can be cleared. This isn't fixed. This isn't something that you're stuck with forever. Energy moves, it vibrates. And with the right practice, which would be meditation, energy healing, breath work, sound therapy, or some kind of movement like Tai Chi, yoga, all of this can help remove that block and restore the flow of your natural energy so that it flows freely. Look at it this way. If you think of veins flowing through your entire body, they're bringing blood to all the places in your body that it needs to go. So every part of your body, from the top of your head to the very tip of your toes, has veins in it. And that's bringing blood and oxygen, everything that you need to keep your body healthy, happy, and well. But what happens when you have a clogged artery? Well, that's when you start looking at potential heart attacks, aneurysms, and anything else that's going to cause medical problems. So that's a physical block in your vein. A block in your energy is kind of like that clog in your artery. It's going to slow down the blood flow. Well, a block in your energy slows down the energy flow the exact same way. The only difference is a blocked artery in your vein is going to cause you to have a physical heart attack or something like that. A block in your energy is going to cause the physical problem. All of your physical problems, emotional problems, all of your things that you are struggling with in your life started in your energy system first. If you're dealing with it in your current life in a very real physical way, that's because it got out of your energy system and into your real life. It was blocked in your energy for way too long. You didn't fix it. And now all the things you're struggling with are very real. If you had fixed the energy first, you might not be dealing with the struggles that you have right now. That's how energy works. Keep it flowing, keep it healthy, and your life will be healthy, happy, and well. If you have a block, your life's going to have problems. It's just the way that it is. That's how energy works. So let's talk about all 7 chakras. First, we're going to start with the root chakra. The root chakra is number 1. It sits in your hips at the very base of your spine. It is right in the center of your hips, and it is the color red. Now, the colors were added to the chakra system a few years ago, a few decades ago actually, but so that color is red. Now, when your root chakra is in balance, you're going to feel safe, you're going to feel grounded, you're going to be financially stable, you're going to be present in your everyday life, and you're going to be calm. There's this strong sense of belonging. But when it's out of balance, it's blocked, it has an issue, You could have lower back pain, leg and knee problems, fatigue. You could have immune issues or weight problems. Emotionally, you could have chronic anxiety, financial fear. You could have these feelings of being unsafe, even though there's nothing going on. You could have restlessness, distrust of others. Spiritually, you feel like there's no sense of purpose, completely disconnected from any spiritual path, unable to stay present during a meditation. This houses your safety, fight or flight. If you're constantly dealing with anxiety, stress, or whatever, your root chakra is blocked. It needs to be balanced out. Now, the next chakra up, this is the sacral chakra. It is right below your belly button, and this one is orange in color. Now, when this chakra is balanced, you're going to be creative, you're going to be inspired, you're going to have emotional fluidity, you're going to be comfortable with intimacy and able to express joy and happiness. This is also your connection to people and relationships. But when it's out of balance, you could also have lower abdominal pain, you could have back pain, reproductive issues, you could have tightness in your hips, bladder or kidney issues, you could have a low libido, it could be emotionally, you have creative blocks, maybe emotional numbness, or you have too much emotions. You could have a lot of shame or guilt or codependency. You could use food or any kind of substance to try to escape your life. And maybe spiritually, life feels joyless. It's meaningless. You feel disconnected from your own desires or unable to visualize your own future that you want, and you can't dream about what it is that you want to accomplish in life. That sacral chakra controls your relationships, and if you're struggling with people or dating or whatever, you've got a block in that chakra. So the solar plexus is the third chakra. It's right above your belly button. It is yellow in color. Now, when it's in balance, you're going to feel confident. You're going to be decisive. You're going to be able to make choices. You're going to have a very strong sense of who you are. You're going to be able to set healthy boundaries with people, and you're going to be motivated, and you're going to follow through. But if you have an out of balance solar plexus chakra, you could have digestive disorders. I had IBS for over 20 years. And this chakra was a direct effect of that. You could have acid reflux, stomach ulcers, adrenal burnout, chronic fatigue. Maybe you have low self-worth because your solar plexus chakra is your sense of self. So you could be chronically people-pleasing, or maybe you have a victim mentality, or you're constantly criticizing yourself, or you have a fear of rejection. This is where you will feel powerless in your own life. You don't trust the universe to lead you down the right path, and you have no sense of personal will in your spiritual path. You just are disconnected from your sense of self. The fourth chakra, is in the center of your chest. This is the heart chakra, and this is green in color. Now, when this chakra is in balance, this is your love. This is your love center. This is the love chakra. And you'll be able to give and receive love freely without being worried. You'll be compassionate towards yourself and towards others. You'll have empathy and be able to forgive and move forward and just let go of whatever people have done. You just kind of let it go, and you'll be emotionally open and you'll be at inner peace. You really are. That's the chakra where you're going to feel some inner peace. But a lot of people don't have that. The heart chakra has some blocks in it, and some of the physical issues from a blocked heart chakra is cardiovascular issues, heart attacks, heart issues, chest tightness, lung issues, asthma, breathing problems, upper back and shoulder pain. Maybe you have grief that you haven't healed from. You feel unlovable or inability to trust anyone. Maybe you're jealous or bitter, or you have emotional walls up to keep everybody out. This is your love center. And if you have a hard time trusting, loving, or anything, or I don't trust people, whatever, you have a block in your heart chakra. The next one is the fifth one. It is your throat chakra, and it's right in the center of your throat. And this is a blue colored chakra. Now, when it's in balance, you're going to speak. This is your communication. This is your communication chakra. So you'll be able to speak your truth and express your feelings and be honest in your relationships and confident in your voice and your opinions. But when it's out of balance, you're going to have constant sore throats. You could have thyroid issues, jaw issues, TMJ, neck and shoulder pain. Maybe your voice has been lost, or you have a lot of hoarseness to your voice. Maybe you're always swallowing your truth emotionally. You're not expressing yourself the way that you should be in an emotional way. Maybe you say yes to people when you really want to say no. Maybe you fear conflict or feeling invisible or unheard, or even have social anxiety. The throat chakra is your sense of being able to communicate yourself. That doesn't mean telling everyone else to think like you. This is just you speaking your truth and being happy with just being who you are, whether people accept you or not. It's just being you. People like people who are just themselves. Don't worry about what other people think. Now, the sixth chakra is the third eye chakra, and we hear about this one a lot. That's right in the center of your forehead. It's kind of more in between your eyebrows. And this one is kind of an indigo purple kind of color. When this one is balanced, you're going to have strong intuition. You're going to trust your intuition. You're going to have that clear vision or clear knowing, a good direction. You're going to know where you're headed. You're going to have some spiritual insight or spiritual guidance, or have vivid dreams. And this is kind of like your psychic center. But when it's out of balance, you might get headaches or migraines. You might have eye problems, vision issues. You could have sinus issues, sleep disorders, or even dizziness. Emotionally, you could be constantly overriding your gut being your intuition. So your intuition saying, I shouldn't do this, and your mind's going, no, I don't want to be the bad guy. And so you go off and you do it, and only to find out you should have trusted your gut in the first place. Maybe you have mental fog or confusion, or you overthink absolutely everything, or you have anxiety, or you're overly reliant on other people's opinions. But also spiritually, maybe you feel cut off from your intuitive ability. Maybe you have no sense of spiritual guidance or skepticism that block you from opening up spiritually. That is your psychic center. And then right above that, on the top of your head, right above the top of your head, just a little bit, is the crown chakra. And this one is usually a very light violet or a white color. Now, this is your connection to the divine. This is your connection to the spiritual world. So if that's open, you're going to have a connection to that divine. You're going to have a strong sense of purpose in your life. You know the meaning of your life. You feel of peace and spiritual fulfillment. You are going to trust the bigger picture. You're going to trust the universe, or whatever you want to call it, that they got your back and they're leading you the right way. But if this chakra is out of balance, you could end up with chronic headaches, nightmares, exhaustion that you just don't seem to be getting rid of no matter how much you sleep. You could have sensitivity to light or sensitivity to sound. You could have depression. You could feel like your life is meaningless, that you are lonely and isolated. You could be going through an existential crisis, or even be extremely cynical. Spiritually, you're going to be almost completely disconnected from the divine. You're going to be feeling abandoned by God or the universe, or however you want to word it. Maybe you lost your faith, or you had trauma that had some kind of issue around your belief or faith. You're going to have spiritual seeking, but no sense of peace or arrival, because you never get there with it. So that is your chakra that is connected to the spiritual part of you. Now, the way all these chakras work is the first three, the root, the sacral, and the solar plexus, are connecting you to the earth. The heart chakra is the bridge that connects you to the throat, the third eye, and the crown, which connects you to the divine. So that's how they're separated. Now we have gone over the 7 main chakras. Let's go through a few of these questions here of what people ask when it comes to chakras. Is chakras related to religion? No. I mean, it comes from Hinduism. So technically, but chakras are known throughout many different cultures all over the world for thousands of years. These are your energy centers. They might have different colors or slightly different meanings, but they're still energy centers within your body. So is it tied to any kind of religion that you have to believe in? No, you don't have to believe in any religion to know that you are made up of energy, and energy has nothing to do with any kind of religion. I'm never talking to you about religion here. Do you have to believe in something specific for this to apply to you? Absolutely not. You're made up of energy, whether you believe in something or not. You could be a devout religious person or an atheist or somewhere in between. You're still going to have chakras. Whether you believe in them or not, whether you want to work with them or not, does not matter. You're a human being who's alive. You have chakras. How do you know if one of your chakras are blocked? Each chakra does its own thing, like we just discussed. If you're having some of those issues, then you have a block in your chakra. If you are living life right now and you have absolutely no struggles in your life, then you shouldn't be here. You should have ascended to the other side. If you're living on earth, you have struggles. Whatever those struggles are, they're sitting in your chakra. For example, you're going to see people out there who have really good certain kinds of karma. They have good money karma, bad relationship karma. Maybe they have good relationship karma, bad money karma. Maybe they have a lot of anxiety, but they're super connected to the divine. All of these deal with different types of things. Whatever you're struggling with, that's a block. That's sitting in your chakras. That's sitting in your energy system. How do you know if you have a block? Look at the things that you're struggling with. That's how you know you have blocks. Can a chakra be overactive and not blocked? Have you ever met someone that talked a lot? And I mean just a lot more than they really, it's like they couldn't be in silence and they would just fill the silence with just talking, even if it wasn't about anything. That is someone who has an overactive throat chakra. But if you go the polar opposite, somebody who barely speaks, they don't say anything, they don't voice their opinion, they don't talk up or they're afraid to talk up, that's an underactive throat chakra. So yes, you can have one that has way too much energy in it or not enough energy. You want it balanced between those two. That's a balanced chakra. And all 7 of your chakras do the same thing. Do you have to be psychic for your third eye to open? Everybody has a third eye chakra. Everybody has intuition. Everybody has psychic ability. Whether you choose to use it or not, that's up to you. That's between you and your spirit guides and your soul path. That's the answer. Everybody is psychic. You can open your third eye. The more you open your third eye, the more psychic you're going to become. Which chakra should you start with? You always start with the root chakra. Because like this said, if you don't have the root chakra cleared, then that energy is not going to be able to get up to your sacral chakra, which is right above it. And then it's not going to flow up to your solar plexus chakra. So you got to start with the root chakra and start working on that. Plus, we deal with a lot of money, food, shelter, clothes, survival things on Earth. There's a lot of that. You know, and if you're in a situation where people have been mean to you or abusive or you've been in fights or whatever, your root chakras need some work and some love here. And that's where you should start, is start clearing out the root chakra first. How long does it take for you to feel a difference once you start clearing out your chakras and balancing them out? It's a slow increase. It's not fast. How it works is when you start clearing out your chakras and you start working on them and start removing all of these blocks and these issues and balancing them out, you're not going to notice until one day something about you is different. And that's when you'll notice. For example, I was spending a long time clearing out my chakras, and I was the type of person that would get mad and stay mad for like days. And then as I was clearing out my chakras and balancing them out and getting rid of all the toxic stuff that I was carrying, I didn't notice that they changed. I didn't notice that I changed until something made me mad, and I realized that I got over it much faster than I ever did. I developed a patience that I didn't have, and it was a slow increase. So how long does it take? It depends on how often you clear your chakras, which I'm going to tell you right now. If you start clearing your chakras out, you need to give it a week in between. So if you, let's say you clear out your chakra today, you wait 7 days before you clear out the chakra again. Now, can you do all 7 of them on the same day? You could, but it's better if you focus on one at a time. So let's say you focus on the root chakra today and 7 days do the sacral. Why? Because energy, you are made up of energy, and the energy that you are holding on to, even though it might be negative or toxic, that energy is what you're used to. So if you decide to start ripping out all of this negative energy and putting in new energy because you want to feel better, everything that has been built on top of that negative energy is going to come crashing down around you. I have seen this happen. First, the simplest thing, you could get sick if you pull out too much energy and clear out your chakras too fast. You could get sick. That is the mildest issue. And when I say sick, I mean like the flu. And you'll all of a sudden just be like, I don't feel well. It's because you're releasing toxins. You're detoxing. The other things that could happen is, let's say you start changing your chakras around, but your job is not meant for you to do. Well, what if you're not meant to live where you live? What if you're not meant to be in the relationship that you're in? What if you're not meant to be friends with that person anymore? What if? And you start changing all of your energy all at once. All of these things are going to change in your life simultaneously. It's going to look like your world is crashing down around you. I have done this. I have had other people that I have taught how to clear out their chakras do this. And they come back going, I don't understand why my life is always in turmoil. And I'm like, what are you doing? Well, I'm cleaning my chakras every day. And I'm like, that's your problem. Stop. Let them heal. Let them balance. Let your energy get used to this new energy before you keep ripping more energy out. I've done this, and a lot of people that I've worked with have done this. So I'm telling you, work on one at a time and do a gradual increase. It'll change as long as you're consistent with it, and be cautious with this. And this is the thing that's funny. If you think that energy isn't real, start ripping it out of your body and see what happens. A lot of spiritual people are probably sitting there going, yep, I've done that, and so have I. So go slow. It's going to be way better for you than going fast. So the last question I want to answer is, are chakras just connected to yoga, or is there more to them? Oh, chakras and yoga go hand in hand. So all yoga moves, for the most part, are to balance out your chakras. So each chakra has its own set of yoga moves that help clear it and balance it. I have worked on people when I was doing Reiki sessions with people, and every time I worked with somebody who was into yoga, their energy was great. I mean, so much so that I would say to them, why are you here? Your energy is phenomenal. And they're like, well, I'm having an issue in this part. But every time, yoga is very good for your chakras. But it's not just yoga, it's Hinduism. You can do research on chakras, and you're going to find that there's quite a few other cultures that do offer chakra system information. The ones that I focus on is the Hindu chakra system. And there's so much more than just the 7 chakras, because you have like 2 or 3 chakras above your head. You have 1 or 2 below your feet. You have minor chakras. Like, for example, the center of your palms, there's a chakra in the center of your palms. Those are minor chakras. You've got some above your eyebrows. You've got little chakras everywhere. Plus, you have chakras in your aura, and your aura is connected to your chakras as well. So there's a lot more to chakras than just yoga. This whole episode has been about the chakras. I hope this answered some of your questions when it comes to what is a chakra, how do I know if it's blocked, what do I do with it. I offer a chakra course. It's called Master Your Chakras. And in that course, I teach you all about the different types of energy, the different chakras, and it comes with guided meditations that teach you how to clear the negative energy out of your chakras, because that alone is its own kind of that could be its own episode. Seriously, it's very detailed. So in the course, it teaches you all about the chakra system and how to clear them out and how to balance them. If you're interested in that, please go to MediSoulWellness.com. You want to take Master Your Chakras. That course is going to teach you all about how to clear out your chakras. So I want to say thank you for being here. And if any of this resonates with you, or you want to learn more about the course, please just go to the show notes and just click on the links. But you can also get started for free. I have free guided meditations that you can check out. So I want to say thank you. My name is Holly. I will see you in the next one.